Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Glenn Siegel. I'm the Special Magistrate, and this is the Charlotte County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. If everyone would take their seats at this time, and if you have any electronic devices, if you'd please put those on silence, we would appreciate it. These proceedings are all recorded, so anything that you say in here will be made a permanent record in this matter, and it's usually viewable on Charlotte County CCTV. And are we still doing it on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, and Facebook. I'll ask each of you to stand with me and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. I'm sorry again. This is a quasi-judicial hearing subject to the Florida Sunshine Act, and I must disclose whether I've had any contact orally or in writing with anybody that might appear before me today, and I have to recuse myself from voting on any matter on which I have a interest, and I've reviewed the agenda, and I don't recognize any conflicts and certainly don't have any knowledge relating to the matters. At this point in time, I notice that we have a large turnout today. If you expect to give any testimony in the proceedings, if you'd please stand up so that the clerk can administer the oath. So even if you're not sure, please stand up.
Please, yeah.
Because that way it's better, you know.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, agenda item 4, the next meeting date for the Code Enforcement Magistrate hearings will be February 7, 2018. I think we have everybody through the agenda changes.
I've got a couple.
A couple more? Okay, if you go ahead and announce those.
Okay, these cases are going to be continued or dismissed under affidavits 14, 33, 44, under new business, L as in Larry, M as in Mary, Q, X, and CC.
Any other changes? Okay. If you didn't recognize the case number and you're here on that matter, or you have any question, please check in the back, because she just read the case numbers and you may not have realized that she was talking about your matter. Thank you. Agenda item 6, citizen input. This portion of the meeting where the public is allowed to approach the podium and make comment on any agenda items at all. It's different. Eventually we're going to call each of the cases that you may be here on today, but if you have any general comments regarding the agenda, you're welcome to approach the podium at this time. If you do elect to exercise that right, just please announce who you are and sign in. All right, no interested takers. Article 7 of the agenda, unfinished business, we have none. Same with old business, and that brings us to the consent affidavits. In these proceedings, I kind of run this room like a courtroom, so what the procedure will involve is when your case is called, please approach the podium. I'll ask you to state your name and your affiliation to the property owner. If you're not the property owner, just please let us know. And what we'll do is the county has the burden of proof, so we always let the county officers give their testimony first, and then I'll give you a full and fair opportunity to present whatever defenses or comments that you want to make regarding your case. And it's a little difficult sometimes because one person might say something that the other doesn't agree with. I understand that there are disputes in these matters, but rest assured we'll give you a full opportunity to present your side of the matter. So we just ask that you not interrupt and just be patient. We'll get to you. Okay? All right, so we're moving on to consent affidavits. I understand that we have someone present in COD 1502469, David Stelmazik and Amit Stelmazik. If you're here on that matter, if you'd please approach. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
David Stelmazik.
Thank you, sir. You're the owner of the property?
Yes, I am.
All right. We'll proceed just like I just was discussing with you, so if you'll bear with us, okay?
Okay.
All right. If the county is ready to proceed, please call its first witness.
Officer Roadhorst.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorst, certified compliance officer for Charlotte County. This case originally came before you on September. Excuse me, let me get the mic on. This case originally came before you on September 6th of 2017. I re-inspected the property on October 10th of 2017, finding permit was still expired and still some outside storage, creating a junk-like condition. This is a first affidavit in the amount of $50 for a total amount of $70 with lien fees.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. You want to tell me what's going on?
The junk has been taken care of, the permit. In a process of, once I leave here today, it's going to be a lengthy process because of the time, and I believe the engineer on the project has since passed away. So it's, getting with the building department to get a new permit issued to continue on.
So is what the code officer said, is that correct? Was his testimony correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you say now it's been cleaned up?
Yes.
All right. But do you dispute that on the date of his inspection, which was October 10th, that it was still in violation?
I believe that was the date that I was there, and I spoke to him out on the street, and there was a couple of things he wanted moved, and, I took care of them, yes, that day.
Well, the way, what the nature of this is, it's like a traffic ticket. You may have run a red light 2 weeks ago, but you're here now for that past violation, and so that's what I have to consider on this thing. They're seeking a $70 fine, and you've acknowledged that you still didn't have that.
Yes.
That permit, and I'm going to go ahead and affirm the affidavit as stated, and hopefully you can get this back on track shortly.
Yes. Where do I pay it? And
the code enforcement folks will direct you, and we can take care of it from there.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck to you, and Merry Christmas. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, by the way. All right, with regard to the remainder of the consent affidavits, it's my understanding no one else has arrived in the interim, so I'll go ahead and accept those as stated. Which will bring us to the new business, Article 10.
Okay, we got some late ones that came in. EE.
And excuse me 1 second for some administrative.
B is here.
Okay,
B is
B.
here. S as in Sam. And EE.
Okay, what we do is there's a lot of cases on our agenda today, but the folks, everybody that's here today on their case will move you and call your cases first, so you don't have to sit here unnecessarily. But there are a lot of folks here this morning, so bear with us if you would, please. So let's start at the beginning of the alphabet with case agenda B as in boy, COD 02382. Yvette Santana, if you're here on that matter, if you please approach the podium. Thank you. Are you Yvette Santana, ma'am?
I am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll still follow the same procedure. We'll hear from the county first, and then if you have any photographs, papers, or whatever you want me to consider, if you'll just let me know, okay? All right. The county's ready to proceed. Its first witness.
Officer Roadhorst.
Good morning, Gary Rotahorse, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 1283 Marlowe Street. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Yvette Santana. On August 24, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. 2 sheds installed out of setbacks without the required permits. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 14th, October 16th, and December 1st of 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition that I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Just bring him to Ms. Santana. Ms. Santana, he's offering these photographs into evidence, and you have the right to review those, and let me know if you have any objection to me admitting those into evidence and to consider your matter.
That's fine.
No objection, ma'am?
No objection.
Okay, those photographs will be marked and admitted, and I think they'll be projected on the thing so you can follow along. Thank you. Proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance reference the existing violations. I've had several communications with the property owner who said she would relay the information on the contractor that the one installed shed from the contractor needed a permit, and she would pull the permit for the other. On December 1st, I conducted the final inspection, finding the sheds were still in place, and a review of the Charlotte County permitting database showed no application or permit issued. That is the end of my testimony.
Do we have anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Santana, could you tell me what's going on, please?
I pulled the permit for one of the sheds on November 7th. The other shed is from RTO, the company. The one I pulled the permit is my mom's shed. It was a family thing. I just got to Florida, and I didn't know the guidelines, so it was just placed there. And obviously, the neighbors were bothered by it, and it still sits there because I can't move it. I'm disabled, and I just can't do it. I'm trying to gather some people to help me and set a date where we could have this moved. That's that permit. The other one that came from the RTO company, I've been trying to reach out to the owner. I've left several messages as Sir Gary here and I spoke to see if I can get her to be liable for it, as I didn't know it was, there were certain guidelines, and being business people, they should have educated me. And I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that. I'm from New York, got my house, and they placed this shed. Had I known that the guidelines were so rigid, I would have made sure that my personal shed would have been placed at the right, it would have been a lesson for me as well. So the lady's not responding to any of my calls. I'm paying my monthly bills to them as a finance shed. And, I think they should be held accountable for the permit and the moving of the other shed.
I understand.
So I have 2 scenarios going on right now.
I understand. Is there anything else you'd like to present, ma'am? I wanted to ask you, the officer indicated that he had given you 10 days to come in compliance. Is there any reason that you are unable to get it done?
10 days from when?
10 days from before it says the notice of violation was served. I don't know when the date was on that. Do you know?
October 26th, Your Honor.
October 20. Thank you. October 26th, and he testified that he gave you 10 days to bring it in compliance. My question is,
Compliant as to getting the permit?
with complying with what is.
I'm taking care of my 83-year-old mom. There's a lot going on. I have my plate full, and obviously I missed the 10-day mark. It's not intentional. I want to make this right. I don't want to have this problem. It's just another problem to my life.
I understand. Okay, I guess what's concerning me, though, is it's been quite a bit of time even since the notice violation was issued. Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And ma'am, you said that you had the November 7th application for your permit, or is the permit itself?
The permit. I guess, I mean, I paid for the permit.
Okay.
Application.
May I take a look at that, please? You're welcome to approach, but show it to to the county attorney first.
I was here taking care of it.
Any objection to me looking at that, counsel? Thank you. You just hang on, I just want to take a look at it.
It may be just the application fee.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Ma'am, how long do you think it's going to take you to come into compliance?
Well, for my shed, I already spoke to my son who lives in the East Coast who would help me move it. The one I have the permit for. As far as the one from RTO, I would think they would respond and get that moving.
All right.
That's on a finance. I can't take a chance where it collapses or anything happens, you know. The other one, I don't care. I'll just take out everything and dump it for all I care, you know.
I don't want you to have to do that.
Oh.
Tell you what I'm going to do. It's a little unorthodox for me, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue your case to the next meeting, which was February 7th, I believe. But I would expect not to have to see you again. Okay?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Then we have someone that showed up on the day of the stuff. I think it's 30.
Okay.
Do you want to open it back up and hear the case?
Yeah, maybe I'll come back in a little bit because I've already moved on to the next matters, and then I'll bring him up at the end because of the tardiness.
Okay, I didn't know how you wanted to.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, counsel.
Yeah, he said he's going to wait till later and then.
Okay, according to my agenda then, the next case I have is agenda item N as in Nancy, COD 17-0853, Gina Weiler. If you're here on that matter, if you'd please approach the podium. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Your name, please?
Gina Weiler.
All right, we're going to follow the same procedure as I've outlined.
When is it? I don't know.
Our speech here. I'm sorry?
We missed the case. What was the number on it?
0, or me?
853,
853?
Weiler.
Sure. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right, if the county's ready to proceed, its first witness, please.
Ready to proceed, Officer Bush?
Yes, sir. My name is Charlie Bush. I'm a certified code compliance officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 11349 Chalet Avenue, zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Gina Weiler. On October 18, 2017, I conducted an inspection of an address and observed the following: a stilt house being enclosed without a permit. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on February 29th, October 18th, and December 4th on 2017. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1. Oops. Nice chair.
No objection.
Ms. Weiler, do you have any objection to me admitting those photographs into evidence?
No, sir.
Okay, then those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
Notice of violation was served in accordance to Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding no permit for the enclosure. That concludes my testimony.
Mr. Bush, when you say it was enclosed, what portion?
It's a stilt house. There should be just pilings under there, but it's wrapped around and there's rooms under there now.
Oh, okay, I understand now. Okay, thank you. Hi, Ms. Weiler?
Yes, sir.
What is your response, please?
When I purchased the home 6 years ago, the left side of the house, the portion of the house that was already enclosed, I did not do anything to that. What I went and applied for a permit for was the right side of the home underneath. There was an existing wall. I reinforced it, but I did put a garage door in, and I did go down and apply for the permit for the garage door. Shortly after I applied for the permit, I followed it online, and I didn't get any response. I left several messages for Rick and for Sean Horton and Jessica Brown and Mr. Hess at the building office, and then I, sir, left to go do hurricane debris cleanup for 5 months, and I just got back when I received this letter. And I'm willing to do whatever needs to be done, but the left portion of the home was already enclosed when I purchased the home.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anything further?
No, sir, I don't think so, other than I'm a nervous wreck.
You don't have to call me, sir.
Yes, I do.
Any response from the county? What is the county's recommendation on this?
County recommends a respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation. That should be granted 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code. And if permit cannot be issued, obtain a demolition permit to restore the property to its original condition, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Ms. Weiler, the county's recommending that that you have 30 days to obtain all your permits. Is that something you think you can achieve?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I mean, I did apply for a permit. Can somebody maybe point me in the direction of
We'll take care of that this
what
morning.
I did wrong?
We'll take care of that this
Because I'm new at this. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No. Really, the goal of what we're here about today for everybody is just to try to get compliance with our codes.
I completely understand, and I'm not trying to break the law.
All right. Then in Charlotte County versus Gina Weiler, case COD 17-00-853, pertaining to the parcel at 11349 Chalet Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order in the matter. And can somebody please get together with this lady before she leaves the room to explain to her what she needs to do?
Yes, one more question. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
The left portion of the house, is that still in play, or is it just the right side where I put the garage door in?
Well, I don't know the answer to that because you said it was permitted before or not. I don't.
When I purchased the home, the entire left side of the house was already enclosed with bedrooms and a bathroom. That was, I bought it that way. I bought the house
what I
as
don't know,
is.
what I'm saying is I don't know if that was properly permitted or not. That's why I can't answer your question.
Okay, I understand. I'm
But-
sorry.
Tom, can we get somebody to talk to her?
Yes, we'll discuss that. Whether obviously sometimes these things don't get caught in a title search, so we'll have to see
Okay.
what happened.
That's fine. Somebody will get together with you and explain what
Now?
needs to be. Hopefully, yes.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thank you.
Okay. D came in. That's fine with me.
D as in David? Okay, thank you. The next matter that I have on the agenda, item S, COD 17-2302, 2135 Floyd Court, LLC. If you're hearing that matter, please approach the podium. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name, please?
Linda Rizzo.
And, ma'am, what is your relationship to the limited liability company?
I am the owner.
You're the owner? All right. If you'll bear with us, we're just going to have the county present its evidence first, and then we'll hear your response, okay? Okay. County's ready to proceed. Please call us first
Thank you.
witness.
Officer Leonard, ready?
Yes.
My name is Rhonda Leonard, I'm Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. 2135 Floyd Court is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is the 2135 Floyd Court, LLC. On August 8th, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violations: doors installed, sliders installed, the lanai rebuilt, and water heater installed. A review of permitting found a remodel permit. After reviewing the permit package, found the sliders and water heater were not included, and per the building official, the lanai did not require a permit as nothing structural was added. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 8th, September 19th, October 31st, November 20th, and December 1st. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I'd like to offer the photos into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Do you have any objection to me entering those photographs you just looked at into evidence, ma'am?
No, I don't.
Okay, then those will be so marked and submitted. Please proceed, Officer Leonard.
A warning letter was sent to the owner, giving 30 days to comply. I met in the office with Ms. Rizzo on September 28th. We went over the remodel permit package showing the sliders and water heater were not included and that permits are still required for the already completed work. Notice of violation, notice of hearing was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on November 20th. Respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance with the listed violations. Review of permitting on December 1st found no permits have been applied for. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Rizzo, could you want to tell me what's going on, please?
Yes, sir. The problem, certainly, I did meet with Ms. Leonard on September 28th, and at the time I had already contracted a GC to take care of these issues, and he and Ms. Leonard were already in contact. Unfortunately, after the meeting, I had to play this chasing around, and he did not come back to me. I called him, he called me, he said he was going, he was not going. I live in Broward County, so it's not something I can be on top of it physically on a daily basis, but yes, on the phone. Finally, at the end of October, and I left the letter in the car, he sent me, he returned a check for $1,000 because I had given him, before I had the meeting with Ms. Leonard, a check for $1,000 to get all the permits, and then he didn't show up. So finally, at the end of October, I received a letter saying that he can't do it. So all this time I wasted waiting on him because he had the money, and I thought he was going to be taking care of it. Because the issue became that as I started calling all these other contractors that I needed to get, unfortunately, I got responses like, good luck, because we don't want that liability, or they said, we're busy and we cannot take care of it until after January. So now when I received this compliance letter, I said to myself, well, I'm going to have to be there, be here, present, and communicate with people. And finally, I did get today. I have 2 committed people. They told me I can give you their names, the company name, and their phone numbers. Today at between 12 and 3, they're meeting with me, and they are going to be applying for the permits. I'm not going to say this week because I know it's short notice for them, but they will be applying no later than next week for the permits, sir. And this is for the water heater permit and for the sliding door permit, which is what I'm right now at. I haven't complied with that yet. And I really do apologize. I don't mean to take up anybody's time. I live in Broward. This is an investment property for me. I've had it for a year, and I've just had so many problems with the contractors, and especially being away, they do whatever they want to do. So I just want you to know that I have been working. I need to get this situation resolved as soon as possible. I have an empty house sitting there, and it's creating me a lot of liability just having their sit empty. So please rest assured that these people assured me that today they will just do whatever they need to do in getting the photos or whatever information they need, and that they would have it in no later than next week, the permit request.
You'll have to stay on top of them.
Oh, yes, sir. You better believe it.
Anything further from the county at this time? If not,
The only thing that's just to note is that once a permit is pulled, essentially the time that's granted is extended to 6 months to get the project done, and then there's additional time after that for inspections and stuff. So the idea is if you pull your permit within the 30 days granted, then she should be in good shape.
Okay. Recommendation, please.
County's recommendation is that the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation. That should be granted 30 days from the date of your order to apply for and obtain all necessary permits and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code. And that you bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you, ma'am. You heard what counsel said, so you're probably going to, if you get these permit applications on file, you'll have some breathing room, but you're going to have to stay on top of it. So in Charlotte County versus 2135 Floyd Court LLC, case number COD 17-2302 pertaining to the parcel of property located 135 Floyd Court, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order in the matter, and I think that if you get those applications on file, then what counsel said will apply, and you'll be able to get this thing back on track.
Is that within the 30 days, right, to apply? That's what
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So in other words, if you comply with what I just ordered, you won't have to pay any fine or anything.
Thank you. I will. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
have a good day.
Sniffles. Thank you. Okay, new business agenda item T Tango, COD 172310. Jeanette Stebbins, if you're here, please approach the podium. Are you Ms. Stebbins? Good morning, ma'am. How you doing?
Good morning.
We'll proceed just like we did in the other cases, all right? So if the county is ready to proceed, please call its first witness.
Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 2496 Deidre Street is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Jeanette Stebbins, successor trustee of the Viet's Revocable Living Trust, dated November 5th, 2003. On August 1st, during an inspection for a complaint of high grass, I noted the following violations of glass missing from a window, hardware missing from windows, the interior not being maintained in a clean and sanitary condition, appears to have a partial interior remodel being done, a wall or sliders removed, exposed wiring, a rear door installed with one window opening altered, and windows installed. A review of permitting found no permits on file. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 1st, September 15th, October 18th, November 15th, and November 29th. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I also have photographs from the property appraiser website and have Greg Mosher to testify to them. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Okay. Just bear with me. I got to wrap up this the photographs you've offered. Okay. I can go to the bottom. Ma'am, do you have any objection to me admitting those photographs into evidence?
No, thank you.
Okay, then those will be marked and admitted as requested. The county proceed, please.
Just to say that those would come from your website.
Officer Leonard. Oh, go ahead.
Greg Mosher with the Charlotte County Property Appraiser's Office. The 2008 pictures were from our record.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Officer Leonard.
A warning letter was sent to the owner, giving 30 days to comply. The notice of violation, notice of hearing, was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on November 15th. Respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance with the listed violations. Review of permitting and site inspection on November 29th found no permits have been applied for and all conditions remained unchanged. This concludes my testimony.
Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Stebbins, just bear with me 1 minute. I just want to look at the photographs up close. Excuse me. All right, Ms. Stebbins, can you tell me what's going on, please?
Yes, well, I have called contractors, haven't received anything. I'm meeting with one today to get this resolved.
Okay. And who is the contractor?
The one I'm meeting with today is Willie Dees. Nobody returns calls, you know, it hasn't been going well.
I understand. Was Officer Leonard's testimony accurate and correct then?
Yes.
Are you optimistic that you'll get together, things will come together with this contractor and you can get this thing back on track?
He sounded very promising on the phone.
All right.
But he didn't want to meet with me until after the hearing today.
All right. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell me, Ms. Stebbins?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. What is the county's recommendation, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation. It should be granted 30 days from the date of your order to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code and bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Okay. All right, in Charlotte County versus Jeanette Stebbins, trustee, COD 172310, pertaining to the parcel at 2496 Deidre Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed charges are been established. Sorry, let me get my mouth work with my mind. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order. And what that does, Ms. Stebbins, that'll give you 30 days to get things going. If you can get everything in compliance, then you don't have to pay any fine.
Very well.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
2940. They're not really late.
Okay. We'll move to agenda item U, COD 172940 Southeast Property Acquisitions, LLC. If you're present on that case, please approach the podium. Good morning, sir. Your name, please? And what is your relationship to the limited liability company?
I am the general manager, and I'm also a manager listed on file.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll follow the procedure that we've established so far, and then you'll have a full opportunity to explain, okay? And it looks like we have Officer Leonard teed up, so.
Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21379 Gladys Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Southeast Property Acquisitions, LLC. On October 5th, during a follow-up inspection on a case for permitting and IPMC violations, I noted the following violation of excessive growth of grass and weeds. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 5th and November 30th. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Sir, do you have any objections to me admitting those photographs into evidence?
No, sir.
And then they will be so admitted and marked as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation notice of hearing was served in accordance with Chapter 162 of the Florida Statutes and was prepared as a recurring offender due to previous cases for the same violation. The last was prepared for hearing and was dismissed August 29th. I conducted the final inspection on November 30th, finding the grass was cut but is near violation again. At this time, I am seeking to obtain a cease and desist order. That is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Sir, what's going on, please?
Well, for September, obviously, we had the storm, so we had all of our crews up north and down south in Miami clearing up yard debris and getting trees off of houses. And then from there, we got them back on the site. But with the storms, you have, real estate companies, so you have homes that are going to be closing, stuff that's pending closing, and then stuff in the pipeline already. So if a home's in construction status, then it's not first on the list. So we're trying to get stuff out that's going to go to sale so we can get cash flow in to be able to continue work. So it took us some time, but then we got it back up, and now we also had some issues with yard crews falling out because they couldn't keep up with the work. So, and this isn't the shortest drive from, Tampa area or Polk County. So it's just been issues with the contractors and issues with trying to keep people moving in and around the space. So, but now we've got they're down here. Those things are through the pipeline, and now they're hitting that property every 2 weeks. So we're hoping to have the house actually done and complete and out the door within 2 to 3 weeks.
And what is the county's recommendation?
County recommends a respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order for any future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And sir, it appears from the evidence that was presented today that you've been given some slack in this. I understand about the storm and other issues that you have pending. The county is asking me to enter a cease and desist order and to require your compliance to keep the grass mowed and in compliance with the code. And that's something that I think you clearly have the ability to do. So in Charlotte County versus Southeast Property Acquisitions, LLC, COD 172940, pertaining to the property at 21379 Gladys Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida, I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of those charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'm accepting the county recommendation as my order. It's not a big deal to comply with this order, and hopefully we won't have to bring you back before the tribunal. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. B. Victor. Thank you. All right, let's see. New business agenda item V as in Victor, COD 173072. Yadira Mistler. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize.
It's okay.
And you're?
I have a hard time with that too. My name's Armando Alvarez, and I'm actually her husband.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to follow the same procedure. And,
okay.
And what is your name, by the way, sir?
Jonathan Alvarez.
Okay, sir. We'll go with the county going first, and then we can present whatever evidence you would like. Let me just get the file here. County's ready to proceed. Your first witness, please.
Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21139 Meehan Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Yadira Muslier. On October 17th, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violation of multiple vehicles on the property, several unlicensed. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 17th and November 29th. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1. Oh, I forgot to put the number. I'm sorry. There's not too many.
Sir, do you have any objection to me admitting those into evidence?
No, whatsoever.
Okay, then those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
Notice of violation, notice of hearing was served in accordance with Chapter 162 of the Florida Statutes and was prepared as a recurring offender due to a previous case for the same violations that was prepared for hearing and was dismissed on August 14th. Conducted the final inspection on November 29th, finding most of the vehicles were removed, one in the carport under a cover, and outside storage of an engine hoist, donut tire, automotive fluid containers, and assorted other items, giving the appearance of major automotive work being conducted in a residential zone. This concludes my testimony.
Anything for the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor, except that we'd request that the witnesses state their addresses for the record, please.
Okay, sure. Sir, I'll need you both to give us the address on the record, please, for where you reside.
Address?
Yes, sir.
21139 Meehan Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida, 33952.
And, sir, your address?
2139 Meehan Avenue, Port Charlotte.
Thank you. You want to tell me what's going on, please?
I'm sorry?
You can proceed with your...
Oh, okay. I want to play this recording because she's left this recording on my phone. Play it on there. I want the court...
I did the inspection before hearing yesterday, and although several of the vehicles have been removed, there's still two in the carport. One of them is under a tarp, most likely not licensed and probably inoperative. There's an engine hoist sitting there. It shows me that there's major automotive work being done at that location, and there were also a lot of items lying on the side of one of the cars. So, and due to the fact that this it's the same violation as far as junk condition, the same code sections that we had, that we just dismissed the case in August, and this will be going to hearing next Wednesday. So if you have any further questions, give me a call, 941-623-1001.
Okay. I really have a problem with the court enforcement coming over to my house and letting me know that if I have an engine hoist, there's work being performed of any type of mechanical work. And I'd like to ask this court if there is that opinion of the mechanical work being done at the house, and I want them to show me proof in any type of form where we've billed someone for mechanical work, where we've actually been doing mechanical work on a vehicle. It's just an engine hoist where you could buy a discount auto part, and all he has there is his car, which is his hobby car. Mm-hmm. So how is this becoming a mechanical shop like she's alleging that we are a mechanical shop?
Are you charged?
Your Honor, the county's evidence speaks for itself.
I'm sorry?
Your Honor, the county's evidence speaks for itself.
The county's evidence is wrong. I mean, there's nothing mechanical about owning an engine hoist. All over Port Charlotte, there's engine hoists everywhere. So why is this house being picked on for an engine hoist?
The outside storage would be the problem there. She did say that it gives the appearance that possibly mechanical work's being done. That is not one of the charges at this point.
Thank you.
That's what I thought I was here for, mechanical charges. There's no mechanical charges. It is a hobby that he works on his own personal vehicle. Now, does that become a shop? Then I don't know.
Well, the notice of violation is reflecting a violation of Code 3-9-76, junk-like conditions. So
junk-like condition. I wish you would have seen that house before I bought it. It was more like a dump. And it seems to me in this court that every single house is rated around the same neighborhood. All these addresses are right there within each other. I don't see any multi-million-dollar homes that are being fined or any other addresses. It seems that just the circle around that whole area of all these houses that they're being picked on by the courts.
I mean,
I own 5 homes here, and I regret buying every one of them. I wish I would have came to this courtroom before I bought any of those homes.
Your Honor, there are code enforcement officers assigned to every section of this county.
This is the
and we are, and except for PUNTA GORDA, which just happens through the city.
I understand, and though your point's well taken, sir, you know, we're here about your property today, and that's what I have to focus on. What's the county's recommendation on this if you have no further evidence?
I think further, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate, request the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
So have all these, all of the vehicles and the earlier photographs all cleared out now at this point?
The ones that were on the side of the carport, yes, those are gone.
Well, it's just it reflects something like we're looking at now in the...
Yeah, that's how it was the other day, yes.
All right, sir. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this case against you. I think that, A, you've come into apparent compliance, partial compliance. I'm not convinced that your argument's accurate, but I would expect not to have to see you here again in the future.
Very well.
Okay. That'll be my ruling.
Next case, Z.
Thank you. Thank you. Agenda item Z, COD 171344, Christian Stechowski. Again, if I apologize if I butchered your name. Close enough?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Let me hear it from you. What's your name?
Stokowski.
Stokowski? Okay, thank you.
Pretty easy.
I'll do better next time. Hopefully there will be a next time. But all right, ready to proceed?
I don't believe he was sworn in. He didn't stand up at the time.
Okay. Were you sworn in, sir, at the beginning?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If so, answer I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Moore.
Your Honor, we'd request that the witness state his name and address for the record, please.
My name is Christian Stokowski. My address is 1157 Ware Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida.
Thank you, sir. Please proceed, Officer Moore.
Officer Moore, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The address of violation is 1157 Ware Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Christian A. Stokowski. On May 10th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: a water heater that was installed without a permit, and a roof on the back of the residence that is leaking and causing damage to the walls. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on May 10th and May 17th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs and an email into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Sir, do you have any objection to me admitting those photographs into evidence?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, then those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I met with the owner, obtained photos, and explained to him what needed to be corrected. On November 3rd, 2017, I conducted the final inspection of the county permitting system, finding the violations still substantially the same. Correction, it should be November 30th. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Do I have anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Sir, could you tell me what's going on, please?
I do have the permit for the water heater.
You want to show it to council, please?
The roof repair that is needing done is on the lanai, which is outside of the house. I am in the process of trying to find a roofing contractor after this storm.
There might be a little...
It's been very difficult. I've had some health issues recently, and between that and the hurricane, I've been having a hard time finding a roofing contractor, but I do have the permit paperwork. I plan on having the roof fixed as soon as possible.
All right. Anything further, sir? Okay.
That's it.
All right, and anything further from the county? If not, it's recommendation.
Just, Your Honor, reflect that excuse me, the permit document that was submitted to you is dated yesterday, December 4th. County's recommendation.
Yesterday was 5th.
Sorry, excuse me. Yesterday was the 5th, so it was the 4th. Your Honor, the county recommends that respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that respondent be granted 30 days to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code and to apply for and obtain all necessary permits and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Christian Stitch, oh, whatever. How do you pronounce it again?
Stokowski.
Stokowski, okay. Thank you. COD 17-1344. I find that the evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order. So if you get the permits and everything going in the next 30 days, you won't have to pay any fines or penalties. The opposite will happen if you don't.
Right.
Okay?
I understand.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
BB, 27, 24.
Okay, agenda item B as in boy, COD 17-2457. Shelley Rainey, if you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Would each of you please state your name and your address, please?
Yes, my name is Shelley Rainey. My address is 2434 Sun and Glow Street, Port Charlotte.
Good morning, ma'am. Yes, sir.
My name is Robert DeBalt. I'm at 22118 Midway Boulevard.
Sure. If you need to pull that microphone forward a little bit, you're kind of stretching there. All right. If the county's ready to proceed, it looks like we have Officer Moore.
Officer Moore.
Rennell Moore, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 2434 Sun and Glow Street. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Shelley D. Rainey and Lester L. Rainey Sr. On August 14, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. A fence in disrepair that also had been installed without a permit. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 14th and September 15th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
No objection, no. That was after the hurricane.
You have no objection, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, those photographs will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no communication with the owner. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection of the county permitting system, finding the violations still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
December 4th?
December 4th?
You mean 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Okay. All right, folks, we'll give you a chance. Just bear with us, okay? I realize you may not agree with everything she said, so just, we've got to keep some sense of order with this. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll speak for her.
Okay.
Actually, the hurricane blew 2 panels down. That's what the pictures show. I had propped them up just to keep the fence, keep the yard closed so the dog couldn't get out. The fence had been there, and I have a certified from 2013 survey that the fence was always there when she purchased the house. And I have personal knowledge that I knew of the owner of the house, and that fence had been there for 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. All we did was the 2 panels that the hurricane blew down were not in shape to be able to just put back up. So we purchased 2 new panels of the existing same type and put them up in place, and that was approximately 2 months ago.
was in the hospital when you done it.
I'm sorry, ma'am, if you'd speak in the mic, I can't hear you.
And that's all we did was repair the existing fence.
Did you have something to say, ma'am?
I was just saying I was in the hospital during that time. I don't know when you done it.
Sir, did you want me to submit that into evidence, the survey? Or?
If it's necessary.
Is it your only copy is what I'm trying to get at?
Yes. Oh, this is when I bought my home from the law firm.
Yes, ma'am.
And it shows that it has the fence attached to the house when I bought the house.
Your Honor, we're not disputing the survey.
Okay.
I did not put the fence up. It was already there. You can see.
There's no objection, Your Honor? I mean, Your Honor, no objection. It's been a long night. I'm getting him promoted here. I'm sorry.
Promotion.
For those who don't know, I'm a regular practicing trial lawyer, and I'm so used to being in court on the other end of this thing. So, yeah, I know. Sometimes I forget.
Too much fun.
All right, these will be marked as defense or respondent to Exhibit A. All right. Anything further from you folks?
Your Honor, nothing further except that the evidence that we stated was that there is no permit related to that fence.
Sure. This was the first time you've been notified of the lack of a permit on this property?
Yes, sir.
And when did you buy the property?
I bought the property September the 16th, 2013.
13?
And that's a picture of it, I think, in August or September, that I got from the law firm when I was buying the home.
Is the fence repaired yet?
Oh, yeah.
Sir, we got pictures to prove that. He took them this morning.
And did you make the repairs yourself, or did you have somebody do it?
We did it, yes. We put 2 new panels up.
And anything further response to my questions?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Would you like to see the pictures that we have fixed it?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Would you like to see the pictures where we have fixed it?
No, I'll take your word for it. Take your word for it. All right. Oh, okay. Ma'am, could you spell your first name for me? Was it an I or a Y? It's an I on the end. Okay. All right. Just noticed that the clerk noticed that your first name was spelled wrong on the notice of violation.
I'm used to it.
All right, Charlotte County versus Shelley D. Rainey, COD 1724.
I have not stated our recommendation yet.
I was going to do it for you. I was going to do it for you.
Appreciate that. We're going to swap chairs here pretty soon. County recommends respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order for future violations, that the response be granted 15 days from the date of this order to clear, date of your order to clear the zoning violations, thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. The county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
I was just going to try to make your job easier. Now I'll try it. Can I go again this time? Charlotte County versus Sheila D. Rainey, COD 172457, pertaining to the parcel of property located at 2434 Sunninglow Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I will accept the county recommendation as my order in this matter, with the proviso that I'll give you 30 days to clear the zoning violations instead of the 15.
And what do I gotta get, what am I in violation of? I don't understand.
You're lacking the permit for the fence, even though you acquired the property.
The fence was there when I bought it.
No, I understand, but sometimes when you buy property, there's an existing violation. It passes through. You may have a claim against the people you bought the property from for that, but
They're dead.
all right. Well, the point of it is if you apply for the permit, then you won't have to pay any fine or anything. So
that's another $100, right?
Well, I'll let you take that up with the county, but that'll be my ruling in the matter.
The house was in foreclosure when I bought it. I actually purchased it from a law firm.
No, I understand.
Let them go. Let them go.
But, ma'am, please understand that when you acquire property, and a lot of realtors are really scrutinizing purchase contracts nowadays for existing zoning and code violations because they do create problems in the closing of property. However, when you buy a piece of property and there are existing violations on it, then it becomes your problem. And that was the basis for my ruling. But like I said, if you just apply for the permit and get it taken care of, then...
How long do I have to do that, sir?
I'm giving you 30 days to do it.
I have 30 days.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Double E.
Double E.
Okay. We'll move on to agenda item double E, COD 172996. Sean Richard, if you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Double E. Your name and address, sir?
Sean Richard, 5168 Chavez Circle.
Good morning, sir. We'll proceed with the same procedure that we've employed. So if the county's ready to proceed, it's first witness.
Officer Moore.
Renell Moore, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 5168 Chavez Circle. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Sean P. Richard. On October 10, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: outside storage of car parts, trash, inoperable vehicles, boats, and other miscellaneous items creating a junk-like condition. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 10th and November 28th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as Charlotte as County Composite Exhibit 1.
You looking at the photographs? Sir, do you have any objection to me admitting those photographs into evidence?
Other than I'd like to have my private life kept private, but I don't understand these. That's my objection. I'd like to be as private of a citizen as possible, whatever's possible legally.
Do those pictures accurately depict your property, though?
Before trash day, yes.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if they accurately, what you mean by accurately depicting. Her testimony was different than the pictures.
Well, we'll give you an opportunity to explain if you have any differences of opinion as to what these photographs are or
Those
whatever.
are photographs that are taken from the public right-of-way that, I just would rather not be shown if that's at all possible.
All right. Well, to the extent that you're making those objections, I'll go ahead and overrule those.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is give you an opportunity to explain these photographs if you need it, and I'll give it whatever important degree of importance.
How many photos are there? Could you tell me, sir?
Pictures.
11? I mean, I've stated what I wish, but
Sure,
you've overruled.
We'll go over them. I'll take the time. Okay. So those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have had no communication with the owner. On November 28, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Sir, you want to talk to me about these?
I don't understand exactly what she's saying. She said, I couldn't quite hear her testimony. I'm sorry. But what are the violations again? I mean, I got a letter with a bunch of things that make no sense to me. That's trash out. That's garbage out for trash. I mean, that's waiting for pickup. That was gone. That's gone. There's the one big thing that's still there, that big water tank. That's still out for trash. But
so what you're saying is all of the carpet and...
Yeah, that's out for the garbage. And I've tried to get a hold of her. Nobody's returned a call. They drive by taking pictures, but they won't ever stop and talk to me when they see me.
All right. Anything else?
I don't understand why you won't stop and talk when you see me there.
I haven't seen you there.
Sir, what if you address your comments to
me,
okay. Because otherwise you'll get in a free-for-all.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so I understand your position that was... So it's all cleaned up now? It doesn't look anything like that in that picture?
My vehicles are still there, but they're all registered, insured, operable. The only one that's not registered is the Jeep, and I'm allowed one unregistered operable vehicle in my driveway.
Anything further, sir?
I beg your pardon?
Anything further?
I just want to be in compliance, and I'd like to leave my private life. So whatever I need to do to get into compliance, I'm willing to do. I don't understand. You know, I have one neighbor for 22 years has not liked me. These are the things that happen.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, sir. All right,
and that's
I'm sorry.
It's not the best looking yard in the neighborhood, but it's my yard.
Sure. Any response from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor, except that the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 5-year cease and desist order for any future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $250 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, do you think you can get everything straightened out in the next 30 days?
I heard you say something about February 2nd. I need to contact the woman here. I need to have contact with her so I know there was something about my car being parked in the swale but by February before that, I got hit on my motorcycle on October 8th, and I've been seeing doctors nonstop since then. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even find out about this. I didn't even go down to the mailbox until the 13th or so when I saw the letter. I don't even know. The letter had been there quite a while. But at any rate, whatever, yes, by the February, because I still have this month full of doctor's visits and 2 more MRIs to get.
Well, whether I continue your case or accept the county recommendation, except bump it up to 30 days, we're still going to be back here February 7th or thereabout. I take that.
Listen, I want to be in compliance. I want to be left alone. It's just that simple. Well, I'm not looking to get in trouble. And all I need to do is be able to talk to somebody and see what's wrong. All my boats, my trailers, everything is registered and licensed and insured.
And I forgot there was no January meeting.
Your Honor, just a comment from the county. This property had numerous violations on it. over the years. This is not the first time. That's why the fine has been requested at $250. We would request that you follow the recommendation in this case, or accept our recommendation in this case, because with this property has been a significant problem for the county. Thank you.
All right, Charlotte County versus Sean P. Richard, COD 172996, pertaining to the parcel at 5168 Chavez Circle, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence, or the substantial weight of the evidence, establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'm going to accept the county recommendation as requested, but I'm going to give you the 30 days, and hopefully we won't have to see you back here again. That'll be my ruling.
I would appreciate a little more.
Do what I can, sir.
If that's all you can do, that's all you can do. I would appreciate to talk to her after this meeting, or or now, or somebody, so I can.
You may have other cases I don't know, but I'm sure she'll be happy to talk to you.
Okay. If I could, I'll give her my phone number and she could call me.
You could do that.
Yeah.
So we're going back to double F. Okay, agenda case FF COD 17-1955, Donald Levison. If you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Sorry about that. Your name and address, sir?
Don Levison, 4184 Conway Boulevard.
I apologize for mispronouncing your name. All right, if the county's ready to proceed, it's first witness, please.
Officer Gursky.
Gail Gursky, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 4184 Conway Boulevard. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Donald Levison, Jr. On July 5th, 2017, I checked the Charlotte County database and conducted an inspection of the address and observed an expired permit number 2011-010-0194 for an interior remodel. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on July 5th, 2017. These photos and the copies of the permit history fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs and permit documentation into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Sir, do you have any objection to me admitting those documents into evidence?
No, sir.
Then those will be so marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. I've had communication with the owner by phone regarding this case to explain the violation and the steps that needed to be taken to correct the violation. Mr. Levison also came into the permitting department on December 4th, 2017, and I spoke with him about renewing the permit and scheduling the outstanding inspections still required. On December 5th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violation still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Sir, could you tell me what's going on, please?
Yes, sir. On the permit here, it has insulation and framing inspection, electrical final, electrical rough. Electrical rough inspection has been signed off. Insulation, there is no insulation on a block wall. A block wall has a 1/4 inch furring strip and then drywall. There's no room for insulation. Interior walls in those old Mackel homes, there's no insulation in interior walls as well. So I feel the only pending is electrical final. They're wanting to go in my home, punch a bunch of holes in the wall to see insulation. There is no insulation in any interior walls back in the old Mackel homes. I'm willing to come in compliance with her. I've done everything for, her. I'm working with it. I think I should only have to pay for an electrical final and close the case.
All right. Anything else you'd like to offer, sir?
No, sir.
And what is the county's recommendation on this matter?
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you.
There is no insulation in interior walls.
Okay, I got that, sir. Charlotte County versus Don Levison Jr., COD 17-1955, pertaining to the parcel located at 4184 Conway Boulevard in Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'm going to accept the county recommendation as my order. Now, I think you can probably, within that time period, work something out regarding, or at least get further information on that insulation issue, but I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to come to some resolution within that 30 days. If you,
I've been trying to come in resolution. And I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm not going to let nobody go in my home, pound holes in interior walls where there's no insulation.
Your Honor, if I could, the only way to make that determination is to have the building inspector do the inspections to get to the end of that. That's the requirement of the Florida Building Code.
all right, well, hopefully you can reach some kind of resolution, Mr. Levinson, but that's going to be my order in the case.
Fine.
Okay. But if you do need to talk to somebody and you have any problem, just let somebody know, and county attorney or somebody can make sure that you get some response to your request.
Yeah, I need to talk to somebody because...
Okay, thank you.
And what was the fine?
There is no fine until, unless you don't comply. That would be $50 a day. In other words, you know, as long as you get this thing worked out within the 30 days, you're not going to have to pay anything.
Do I need to talk with her, or?
Yeah, do you have any other cases, or? Okay, would you take a few minutes, please? Good luck, sir. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, we're going to agenda item HH, COD 17-2755, Thomas Young. If you're here, please approach the podium. Good morning, sir. Your name and address, please.
Thomas Young, 37 Oakland Hills Court, Rotunda.
Good morning, sir. What we're going to do is we're going to proceed with the same procedure as previous, and if you'll just stand by, and then we'll hear what you've got to say, okay? So if the county is ready to proceed, your first witness, please.
Hi, I'm Wendy Welsh, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. Property is in violation is located at 37 Oakland Hills Court, Rotunda, West, Florida, and is zoned RSF 5. The owner of record is Thomas James Young. Then on September 20th, 2017, I, Officer Wendy Welsh, conducted an inspection of the above referenced address and reviewed the Charlotte County permitting database and did observe permit 2013-01004001 was issued for a residential roof permit, tear off tile and replace with shingle. The above referenced permit is expired without receiving final inspections, and re-inspection fees are past due. A courtesy letter was sent outlining the violations and allowing 30 days for compliance. I did follow up inspections on October 10, 2017, and the permit still has an expiration status. On September 20, 2017, during the investigation, I took photographs of the property. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs and permit history into evidence as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit Number 1. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On December 6, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding conditions remain the same.
Okay. Let me just find out if he's got any objection to the photographs and documents, and I'll be right with you. Sir, do you have any objections to me admitting those documents and photos into evidence?
All I can say is, you know, I agree to the violation, but this picture doesn't show any of the violation.
Sure.
It just shows my driveway and my trees.
Sure. All right, well, we'll give you an opportunity to explain all of that in just momentarily, but in terms of these documents, do you have any objection to me putting those into evidence?
No.
Okay, then those will be marked and admitted. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
All right, sir, could you tell me what went on, please?
Okay, this started, I don't know, a few years ago. I pulled the permit for the roof, got the material, took all my savings, started on the roof, had a heart attack, which stopped things. When I was able, I got another permit. I think I've gone through as many permits as I could. Got over the heart attack, got hit by a car, broke my thigh. I still can't climb on the roof. I'm living on roughly $16,000 a year, which means I can't hire a contractor. I am dealing with SHIP. Are you familiar with SHIP? Okay, they're waiting for funds now. They should have them in January. And they will give me an interest-free loan to do the roof, but until I get financing, there's nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm. And would you expect to have those funds dispersed to you by...
I've expected it for a couple of years now.
Well, sometimes you get additional information where you might get a better grip on that.
Okay, now I have a this order of notice of dismissal of the previous hearing on this from what's the date? March of this year, if you'd like to see it.
Yes, if I may. Thank you. Anything further?
Oh yeah, I've tried to get a mortgage, but there's a catch-22 there. If the roof isn't sound, you can't get a mortgage.
Sure.
Or insurance,
Yeah.
which I couldn't afford anyhow.
Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Sir, my dilemma is that I have an obligation to make sure that the permitting statutes or, regulations are complied with. On the other hand, I understand you're living on a very, very tight income, and I've got to balance that out, and I'd like to help you. And so what I'm going to do then in your situation is, since you've acknowledged the existence of the violation, and I understand why you haven't been able to comply, I'm going to continue your case to the February 7th, which is going to give you an extra amount of time so that you can get your loan in place and in compliance. I mean, you seem to be making a good effort. I mean, I hope you've explained your situation when you first received the notice of violation. I assume that you did that, but I don't want to make your situation any worse while at the same time I've got the obligation to enforce the code. So if you can make your best efforts, sir, I really don't want to have to enter order against you, but I will continue your case till the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, officer.
Back up. These are the ones that came in late.
To D?
D and O, and then we've got to open up the affidavits because...
So I'm going to finish the new business first,
Okay.
so we'll go to,
That's fine.
to D. Okay, agenda item case D is in David, COD 172574, Israel Cologne II. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Good morning, sir. Your name and address, please.
Israel Cologne, 2516 Baltic Avenue.
Next, sir. As soon as I get the file, we'll get started. Okay, I see we have Officer Roadhorst up, so if that's your first witness, please proceed.
Officer Roadhorst.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorst, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 2516 Baltic Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Israel Colon II. On August 22, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Outside storage of boat and automotive parts, wood, metal, and assorted other debris, and a commercial equipment parked on the property. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 22nd, October 11th, and November 29th. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
That's the number of slides. Okay. Is that supposed to be on there? Yeah, Andre wants that so that he knows how many.
Mr. Colon, do you have any objection to me admitting those into evidence?
No objections.
Okay, those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed, Officer Roadhorst.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no communication with the owner regarding this case, but I have had multiple contacts with him on previous cases for the same violation at the same property. On November 30th, I conducted the final inspection, finding the commercial truck and trailer had been removed from the property. A cherry picker that kind of floats around, looks like it may be on his property, may not be on his property, was on the neighboring property again. Is a few feet off of his property, on the adjoining property. And other than that, the violations remain substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Cologne, do you want to tell me what's going on, please?
So I didn't realize when I got the paperwork for here, I was working on it. I have a rental property, and I was given notice. I spoke with Ms. Leonard, and I assumed the documentation I got was reflective of the conversation I already had with Ms. Leonard and was just a formal reminder. So I didn't appear. When I saw the thing that said December 6th, I didn't appear to my hearing with Ms. Leonard, assuming that that had been moved to December 6th. So I didn't realize today was about my property, my personal property. So this is my residence. The commercial vehicles are gone. They were there temporarily. I spoke with Gary, and he said that they can't be overnight. So I thought they couldn't be stored there on a permanent basis. But there are times that I come home late. I would park them there, and then in the morning I'd get them back to where I store them. So, and the commercial vehicles are all gone. The cherry picker does not belong to me. My first meeting with him was about a backhoe that I had stored there, which was not mine. So then now I've placed the trees there to kind of differentiate what property belongs to me and what property does not. And on the left side of the property where the trees are at, that does belong to me. So that trailer there is mine. And if I have to remove it, I'll remove it. I didn't know that it's registered and things of that nature. So. I hadn't resolved them in the 10 days because I didn't read when I got the notice, I assumed it was about another issue that I have on a property, which is more of a technical thing about a permit that wasn't closed by a contractor that was working for me. So I couldn't come into compliance on that one. So I said, okay, I got to go to the hearing and explain that. If not, I would have resolved this. The last time Gary spoke to me and said you can't have, certain things there. I took care of it. The boat items and things have all been removed in hurricane preparation. I picked everything up and I got rid of it. So there's no storage there now of any commercial equipment. I mean, if there is, but I don't understand what commercial is. But like as far as the heavy duty truck is gone, and the backhoe is not the backhoe, the little Bobcat that I had rented. That's not there anymore as well.
Anything further, Mr. Cologne?
No.
Okay. Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order for future violations, that respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Israel Cologne II, COD 172574, pertaining to the property located at 2516 Baltic Avenue in Port Charlotte, Florida, I find that the evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'm going to accept the county recommendation as my order. And what that means is you'll have about 2 weeks to clear up the zoning violations, and if you can get that done, there'll be a 2-year prohibition against you committing the same violation again, which I don't suspect will be a problem for you after that.
No.
But as long as you do that, then there'll be no fine.
So in the if I can ask a question?
Sure.
In the inspection prior to the hearing, am I still in violation?
There was some, the commercial vehicles were gone at that point. They were still on the property after the 10 days notice, but there were some minor boat parts on the side that this picture shows. There were some boat parts and plastic containers that were stored outside.
Because the original notice I had was to take down a tent that I had put up there for the summertime because I was working on the boat, but I had removed the tent already.
Well, I'm sure that if you work with Officer Roadhorse, you get this thing resolved, and we won't have to see you again. And like I said, as long as you're in compliance, then you won't be paying any fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It takes us to O. Agenda item O, COD 172174, CSMAFT LLC. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Alphabet soup. Alphabet soup. Good morning. Will you state your name and
Yep, my name
address?
is Margine Margolis. I am the property manager for 14500 Ransom Avenue.
Thank you. Everybody present accounted for? All right. Officer Bush, looks like you're up. We'll proceed. We'll let the county go first.
All right. My name is Charlie. Yeah, my name is Charlie Bush, certified code officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 14500 Ransom Avenue, zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is CSMAFT LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. On September 27th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation: a fence installed without a permit. During the investigation, I photographed of the property on July 24th, August 31st, and September 27th and December 4th. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Ma'am, is there any objection to me admitting those into evidence?
Nope, no objection.
Okay, those will be marked and admitted. Please proceed, Officer Bush.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance with the referenced existing violations. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding no permit for the fence. That concludes my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you said you were the property manager?
I am, yep.
Okay, could you tell me how this thing got installed without a permit?
That would be a really great question. We acquired the property before I was with the company, so I'm the new property manager, and they hired me to kind of start taking care of these things because they were falling through the cracks. After the hurricane, we had an issue with our general contractor due to non-payment because of the fact that our office was so overwhelmed with acquiring new properties that they opened a local office in Fort Myers, and that's why I'm here. And we just onboarded a general contractor. So unfortunately, there's a process to go through onboarding, meeting insurance requirements and things like that, and we weren't fast enough. So.
Okay. Anything further, ma'am?
We do have a general contractor onboarded for service that will be taking care of the permit.
Okay, great. And do you know time-wise when that might?
I actually spoke with him right before I walked in the door, and he said he was filing the paperwork, the application today.
Okay, that'll be fine then. Anything further, ma'am?
Nope.
Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that it be granted 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary building permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus CSMA FT LLC, COD 17-02174, pertaining to the parcel of property at 14500 Ransom Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order, which will give you 30 days to get the application in, and if that's going to occur today, it's kind of a no-brainer, but that'll be my order in the case.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Did you leave a address for here in Charlotte County or wherever, a local address? Because we have a Georgia address.
Yes,
I mean,
I
we
left.
could send both places.
Right now we're in a temporary office, but we're moving on the 15th, next Friday. So I don't know who I need to update.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, just make sure, because we want to mail a copy of my order.
Right, to you.
And I want to make sure you get it.
Perfect.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, now, you want to open the affidavit back
Yes.
up?
All right, now I'm going to go back to the consent affidavits and reopen that because we had somebody that came in. So COD 16-2012, All Family Properties LLC. If you're here on that matter, please approach.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Folks, you'll, if you haven't been sworn in, if you'd please raise your right hand and the clerk will administer the oath.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If so, answer I do.
Okay. Would each of you, one at a time, state your name and address, please, for the record?
My name is Dr. Emmanuel Eloy. Address is 14 Tangerine Court in Lehigh Acres, Florida.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Your name, sir?
Gennady Eloy, and my address, my house address, or the?
Yes, the house address would be fine.
14 Tangerine Court, Lehigh Acres, Florida, 33936.
Thank you. And ma'am, are you going to be testifying?
Yeah, I'm listening like this.
If you would approach.
This is my husband, Emmanuel. And I'm Gennady mother.
Okay. Thank you. We'll have the county proceed with its testimony first, and we'll hear your side. Okay, so if you just bear with us, and Officer Leonard, if you'd proceed, please.
Officer Leonard. Rhonda Leonard, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This case was brought to you on October 5th of 2016 for a multitude of violations. There were a total of 32 code sections, including unprotected damaged fascia, soffit, exterior walls, exterior door frames, broken windows, a pool not being maintained and unsecured. Most of these violations are still on the property. There is also additionally now an expired permit and a partial interior demolition that was done without a permit, which we have not even yet addressed.
So it looks like this matter's been around for a while.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, folks, who'd like to go first?
Me, Gennady.
Okay. Well, tell me what's going on, please.
Well, we got the house with all the violations on them, and we basically started on the house first. I got the permit for the roof. I got the roof done. Then I got a permit for the electricity, and because the roof wet the walls, they had to take down some of the drywall to do the electricity. And we got a licensed general contractor to do the roof, and we got a electrical contractor to do the electricity, and I got a licensed plumber to do the plumbing, and now we just have to do the pool and the remodeling, which we haven't got to yet. And the expired permit is going to expire. There's the electricity. I guess they have to finish some electricity, but there was like a stop work order put on the house. And after, now I just have to do the pool and the remodeling. And that's about it. I've called 50 to 100 general contractors in the last 2 months, and they're all busy. And the first estimate I got on the pool was $4,000, and now after the hurricane, the estimates I'm getting are around $12,000. And I own the company by myself. It's just me, and then they help me out. So I just need a little bit of time to get the rest of the permits.
All right, anything further from you folks? Sir, did you want to say anything?
Yes, Dr. Emmanuel Eloy, I'm his father. He bought the property with cash. He paid all cash with the property. And he started doing all of these repairs, and then he didn't know what he's getting into. Now he ran out of cash, and he needs more time to at least 6 months to finish the job.
They usually help me out with my investments, but after they have like about 8 houses in Fort Myers. But after the hurricane, they had a lot of roof damage to the houses on most of the properties. So when I was, the money that we had for, repairs went into the roofs, and we weren't able to, get the money for the pool at $12,000.
Yeah, it looks like, well, this matter's been, I entered an order imposing a penalty and lien back a year ago tomorrow on this, and it's been around for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the roof and electricity and the plumbing. I just have to do the pool and the remodeling.
And how long do you expect that to take?
It shouldn't take too much longer.
6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months. It shouldn't take too much longer.
Well, as I said to somebody earlier, and you may not have been in the room, it's why you're here today is pretty obvious, but it's kind of like a traffic ticket that you ran a red light last week, and you're here in court to respond to it today. So it's a past violation that I have to consider, and we still got, by your own admission, at least those the 2 items that are open. And I've got to find a way to motivate you, and I know there's other circumstances, problems you've had with the general contractor and all, to get this done. But this case has been around for a long, long time, and so what I'm going to do, barring that the county has nothing further to offer in the case, is I'm going to have to affirm this affidavit. But please do what you can, because I really, it's just been around so long, and I don't know what else to do, because I'm charged with the responsibility of enforcing these codes, and I don't have a lot of choice in your matter.
I plan to help him out.
Yeah, if you can. I mean, that'd be great. I know you have been along the way, but and it's unfortunate, but I really don't have a lot of leeway on this.
Your Honor, we may wish to advise the respondent that the county does have a procedure to request abatement of fines that are related to code enforcement. So if this property does become compliant, there is a process to go through to request a reduced fine.
So you understand what he's saying? Okay, so maybe if you can just channel your efforts, get this corrected and everything else, and then invoke that procedure, then maybe that order that I entered a year ago tomorrow can be reduced or maybe expunged. But it's going to take some effort on your part along the way. So good luck to you folks.
So how much time do we have?
I'm sorry?
How much time do we have?
The violation's already been entered, the order's been entered, and so the fines are accruing on a daily basis. So until you complete the requirements of the order, there's nothing the county can do until you comply with the requirements of the order. Once you comply with the requirements of the order, there is a procedure to request a reduced fine. So you have to comply as soon as possible, but until you comply, you're running up.
One thing you might want to consider is that even if you were to pay the fine to date, you still have violations, and the fine's not going to go away. So, you might just get everything done quickly as you can and then apply for that abatement. But that, it's your choice. I'm just pointing out something to you.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You folks have a good day. All right, now we're back to new business. Have we covered everybody that's present? All right, we've covered everybody that's here. Noticed some lady walked in late. Okay. Then at this time, we'll just take a 15-minute break or so. We'll come back in 10 minutes after the hour. right, this is the Charlotte County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearings. We're back in session. Back under new business. I think we're back at Agenda Case A, COD 172142, Derek and Karen Crouch. I note that the respondents are not present, nor is anyone present on their behalf, so if the county is ready to proceed, please call us first witness.
Officer Roadhorst.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorst. The address of the violation is 23285 Midway Boulevard. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owners of record are Derek Lee and Karen Crouch. On July 18, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Outside storage of automotive parts, tools, metal, and assorted other debris. A storage container was stored on the driveway and multiple untagged vehicles were in the driveway and on the property. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on July 18th, September 25th, and December 5th of 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted, so please proceed, Officer Roadhorst.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had multiple discussions with the property owner regarding the property. He's done some work on it and then gone back. On December 5th of 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the storage pod has been removed from the property. A permit has been issued for the room addition, and construction is well underway for the addition, which accounts for the construction materials on the property. The remaining violations of multiple untagged vehicles and outside storage of automotive parts, metal, and assorted other debris are still substantially the same. That is the end of my testimony.
Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation.
The county recommends the respondents be found in violation of the cited code sections. Requests the special magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. That respondents be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs.
All right, Charlotte County, Derek and Karen Crouch, COD 172142, pertaining to the parcel of property at 23285 Midway Boulevard, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I'll accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to agenda case C, COD 172396, Pierre and Vita Scavuzzo. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondents, so if the county is ready to proceed, it's first witness.
Officer Roadhorst.
And Gary Roadhorst, Charlotte County Code Compliance. The address of the violation is 1299 Birchcrest Boulevard. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Pierre Scavuzzo and Vita Scavuzzo. On August 9th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Multiple untagged and inoperable vehicles on the driveway and property, outside storage of automotive parts and tools, and assorted other debris, creating a junk-like condition and prohibited use. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 9th, October 11th, and November 28th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
Notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had several conversations with the owner by phone and with both tenants during this period. On November 28th, I conducted the final inspection, finding 2 inoperable vehicles remained on the property, as well as assorted automotive parts and tools remaining. While the volume is decreased, the violations are still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. The owners haven't otherwise been responsive?
The owner has been responsive, but they explained to me that they kicked the previous tenant out that was causing all the problems, and they have a new tenant that's going to clean it up. Well, when I was out there, I found out the new tenant was the brother of the old tenant, and they're still doing a lot of the same things, just not in the volume that they were. Instead of 12 cars on the property, they have 3 or 4.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondents be found in violation of cited code sections and requests the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order for any future violations. That respondents be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the magistrate permit the county to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Pierre and Vita Scavuzzo, COD 172396, pertaining to the parcel at 1299 Burcrest Boulevard, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I accepted the county's recommendation as my order. Takes us to case E, COD 172336, Robert Bayless. I note that the county wishes to dismiss IPMC section 303.2.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So granted. If you're ready to proceed otherwise, please call your first witness.
Officer Davis.
Paul Davis, Certified Code Compliance Officer. Case number COD 17-02336. The address of the violation is 22433 Lewiston Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. The zoning is RSF 3.5, and the owner of record is Robert Bayless. On August 3rd, 2017, I conducted an inspection on the address and observed the following violations. The pool cage was damaged and several of the screens were torn out. During the investigation, I took photographs on August 21st, September 15th, September 26th, and October 24th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
Thank you. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing existing violations. Spoke to the homeowner several times. He had several other violations. Every one of them has been cleared up. This is the final one, and he basically was having trouble finding somebody to take care of the problem. It's been going on for 3 months. I gave him 2 extra months to take care of it. So everything is basically the same when it comes to that, and this is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the International Property Maintenance Code Section 303.1. That respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Charlotte County versus Robert Bayless, COD 172336, pertaining to the parcel at 22433 Lewiston Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I've accepted the county recommendation as my order. That takes us to agenda item F, COD 172688, RPAD and RPAD LLC. I know that no one is here on behalf of the respondent, so if the county is ready to proceed, its first witness, please.
Officer Davis.
Paul Davis, Certified Code Compliance Officer. COD 17-02688. The address of the violation is 3934 Conway Boulevard. The zoning is RSF 3.5, and the owner of record is RPAD and RPAD LLC. On September 5th, 2017, Stephen Brown conducted the initial inspection of the address and observed the following violations: outside storage of plastic wood bins, household garbage, household furniture, and other debris, creating junk-like conditions and a prohibited use of the property. During the investigation, Stephen Brown and I took photographs of the property on September 5th. Then I took over on September 19th, October 19th, and November 6th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
Thank you. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 15 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have spoke with the management company, and they advised they would take care of it. But on November 16, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, and none of it is exactly the same. Nothing's been taken care of at all. That's the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. Request the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. That respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists. That the magistrate permit the county to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, the cost of the abatement to be added to fines and costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus RPAD and RPAD LLC, COD 172688, pertaining to the parcel at 3934 Conway Boulevard, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. Agenda item C, COD 172936. Michael and Patricia Phalange. I know no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so Officer Davis, your show.
Paul Davis, the complaint is COD 17-02936. The address of the violation is 191 Rogers Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. And the owner of record is Michael A. and Patricia L. Phalange. On October 6, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation: an above-ground pool, and a check of our database found that there was no permit. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 6th, October 20th of 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those have been marked and admitted at your request. Please continue.
Thank you. A notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference to existing violations. I've had no communications with the owners, but I did speak with the people that lived there and advised them what they needed to do in reference to the permit for the pool. As of November 28, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, found the violation still substantially is the same. No permit.
Thank you. County has nothing further. Its recommendation.
Thank you, Your Honor. County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that the owners be granted 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Michael and Patricia Phalange, COD 172936, pertaining to the parcel at 191 Rogers Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order of the matter. Take us to agenda item H, Emilicia Ingram, COD 173125. Note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. Officer Davis.
Thank you. Paul Davis, Charlotte County Code Compliance. That's COD 17-03125. The address of the violation is 3364 Elkham Boulevard. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner record is Emilicia Tony Ingram. On October 19, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Overgrown grass and weeds in violation of Charlotte County ordinances. Basically what we did, we started with an MPN, which is a different way, and she refused to let anybody on the property to cut the grass. We tried to abate it. During the investigation, took photographs of the property on October 19th, November 20th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those have been marked and admitted per your request.
Thank you, sir. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing existing violations. I've had no communication with the owners regarding this case. On November 20th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially are the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code section cited in the notice of violation, that requests the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order for future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Emelcia Ingram, COD 173125, pertaining to the parcel at 3364 Elkham Boulevard, Port Charlotte, Florida, I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to agenda case I, COD 173158, Michael Larson. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. We have Officer Davis, so if you'd proceed, please.
Thank you. Paul Davis, Charlotte County Code Compliance, COD 1703158. The address of the violation is 472 Ridgewood Street. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner record is Michael James Larson. On October 23, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. A new carport attached to the home with no permit for construction. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 23rd, November 3rd of 2017. The photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs and evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
All right, these are marked and admitted as requested.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have spoken with Mr. Larson by phone on one occasion. He has attempted to get an after-the-fact permit, but it has failed under review. On November 28, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violation still is substantially the same. I even checked this morning, and it's still the same.
Thank you.
That's the end of my testimony.
I looked down and I didn't see these marked, and it was on page 2, so I've corrected that. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that he be granted 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Michael Larson, COD 173158, pertaining to the parcel at 472 Ridgewood Street in Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. Case agenda J, COD 15-1992, David and Stacy Bekovic. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. We have Officer Bush.
Officer Bush.
My name is Charlie Bush, Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. The address of this violation is 9278 Key West Street, zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record, David and Stacy Bekovic. On March 7, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation: an expired lanai permit. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on February 10, 2016, March 7, 2017, and December 4, 2017, along with the complete history of the permit. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those will be marked and admitted as requested.
Notice of violation was served in accordance to Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding an I permit remains expired.
Okay, thank you. All right, Charlotte County versus David and Stacy Bakovic. COD 15-1992, pertaining to the parcel at 9278 Key West Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
They didn't give their recommendation.
Recommendation for the record, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm having a bad day, aren't I?
I'm thinking, okay.
County recommends the response be found in violation of the cited code sections, that they be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired building permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry. Well, I'll belatedly revise my prior order and accept the county recommendation.
Yeah,
whatever he said, you know, just bad day. I have to go to bed earlier. All right. I think that will take us up to agenda case K, Ronald and Cynthia Macco. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. So we have Officer Bush again.
Charles Bush.
Yes, it is. My name is Charlie Bush. I'm Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of this violation is 217 Foundation Street, and it's zoned RSF 3.5. Owner of record is Ronald and Cynthia Macco. On September 27th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following international property maintenance violations: 2 sheds in disrepair, a pool not being maintained, a roof in disrepair, and broken windows. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on February 2nd, September 27th, and December 4th, 2017. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be marked and admitted.
Notice of violation was posted in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. On December 4th, conducted the final inspection, finding all violations remain the same.
Officer Bush, I believe you stated the address was Foundation Street. Is the correct address 217 Fountain Street?
Fountains. Oh, you're right.
I just want to make sure the record was clear. Thank you.
My denture must have shifted.
You're having a bad day too, aren't you?
Every day, sir.
The county has nothing further. I will now permit it to give its recommendation.
County recommends a response be found in violation of the cited code sections, that they be granted 30 days from the date of your order to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you.
Charlotte County versus Ronald and Cynthia Macco, COD 17-279, pertaining to the parcel at 217 Fountain Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. Find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I will accept the county recommendation as my order. A heck of a morning, isn't it?
It has been.
For me. And okay, so it looks like it takes us to agenda item P, COD 17-2542, Barry Clifford. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, and Officer Bush is prepared to testify.
If you're ready, Officer Bush.
I am. I'm Charlie Bush, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of this violation is 11157 Ocean Spray Boulevard and is zoned RSF 3.5. Owner of record is Barry Clifford. On September 28, 2017, I conducted an inspection at the address and observed the following vacant structure with outside storage of wood pallets, bicycles, tires, and other debris, creating a junk-like condition. Also found high grass. I also found it unfit and unsafe because there was no water or electricity, broken windows, and an unsecured door, and a shed in a state of disrepair. During the investigation, I took photographs of this property on August 18, 2017, August 29, 2017, and December 4th, 2017. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs in evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those have been marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice violation was posted in accordance of Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding no permits for the enclosure. So all conditions remained the same. That ends my testimony.
County has nothing further. Its recommendation.
Thank you, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, requests the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order for any future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists, and request that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Barry Clifford, COD 172542, pertaining to the parcel located at 157 Ocean Spray Boulevard, Inglewood, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as the order. Agenda R, COD 162752, Joanna Frazier. I note that the county wishes to dismiss the FBC sections 105.4 and 110.3.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, those would be dismissed. And we have Officer Leonard. Please proceed.
Officer Leonard.
My name's Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21451 Gibraltar Drive is zoned RSF 3.5, and the owner of record is Joanna Frazier. On September 29, 2016, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations of outside storage miscellaneous items, including but not limited to wood, plastic containers, items under a tarp, and assorted other debris, creating a junk-like condition, prohibited use of the property. Review of permitting found an expired owner-builder roof permit that expired April 29, 2006. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on April 7th and November 29th of 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
A warning letter was sent to the owner giving 30 days to comply. I spoke with Ms. Frazier on September 30th, 2016, at which time she said she would renew the permit and clean up the debris. Review of permitting on October 25th, 2016 found the permit had been renewed on October 4th. Review of permitting on April 7th, 2017 found the permit expired again on April the 3rd. A site inspection found an inoperative vehicle on jack stands with wheels missing and assorted other debris. Notice of violation, notice of hearing was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance with the listed violations. On May 19th, I spoke with Ms. Frazier. She said she'd renew the permit and should have everything done within the month. A review of permitting on May 23rd found the permit had been renewed. The case was continued to December. Review of permitting and site inspection on November 29th found the roof permit finaled on November 15th. The site inspection found the inoperative vehicle remains. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you. The county has nothing further. Its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of Charlotte Code sections 3-9-33E and 3-9-76. Request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. That the respondents be granted 15 days to clear the zoning violations or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests that permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Joanna Frazier, COD 162752, pertaining to the parcel at 21451 Gibraltar Drive, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. I have next case, agenda item W, COD 17-1915, estate of Chester Zalowski and Craig Hartman, trustee. I note that the county wishes to dismiss the estate of Chester Zalowski.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that is dismissed. And we have Officer Nicolosi. So,
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is located at 9053 Castle Hill Avenue and is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Craig Hartman, trustee. On June 30th, 2017, I conducted an inspection with Officer LaRue, finding the roof leaking into the dinette area, causing water damage on the ceiling, and the porch area, causing soffit damage. Also observed a new water heater installed. A review of the Charlotte County database found a permit had not been issued for the installation. A letter was sent to the owner giving 30 days to comply. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on June 30th, August 11th, and 24th, September 20th, November 2nd, and November 28th. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observe. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as a county composite exhibit 1.
Those have been marked and admitted per your request. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on November 2nd. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On November 28th, I conducted the final inspection, finding conditions remained substantially the same. A review of the database found a permit had not been issued for the water heater or roof. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, and bring the property in compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Craig Hartman, trustee, COD 17-1915, pertaining to the parcel at 9053 Castle Hill Avenue, Englewood, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Sorry about that. Okay, agenda case Y, 17-2783, Phyllis Hoffman and Teresa Chamberlain. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondents, and we have Officer Nicolosi, so if you proceed.
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is 2044 Willow Avenue and is zoned MHC. The owners of record are Phyllis Hoffman and Teresa Chamberlain. On September 20th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: outside storage of wood chips, carport full of debris, and in disrepair, and assorted other debris, unlicensed inoperative trailer in the front yard, unlicensed boat trailers in the backyard, and high grass and weeds. A letter was sent to the owner giving 10 days to comply. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on September 20th, October 5th, and November 28th. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those have been marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Chapter 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. The home appears to have someone living in it, but I have no contact with the owner. On November 28th, I conducted the final inspection, finding some improvement to the property, but some violations still remain. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, requesting entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Phyllis Hoffman and Teresa Chamberlain, COD 172783, pertaining to the parcel at 2044 Willow Avenue, Englewood, Florida. Find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as the order. Takes us to case AA, COD 172162, Liam Martone and Peter Martone. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondents. So, if the county is ready to proceed.
Some more.
Brunel Moore, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 18086 Clanton Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Leah M. Martone and Peter P. Martone. On August 3, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: overgrowth of grass and weeds, outside storage of buckets, a fence in disrepair, and other miscellaneous items creating a junk-like condition. There's also falling fascia, exposed wood, damaged stucco, and damaged screen doors. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 3rd, October 16th, and October 19th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
This has been marked as Exhibit 1 and admitted into evidence. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I met with the owner, I have had no contact with the owner. On October 19, 2017, I conducted the final inspection of the county permitting system, finding the violation still substantially the same, except that we did have the grass mowed by our vendor.
Thank you. Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation.
County recommends response be found in violation of cited code sections. Request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. Request the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. The county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and cost the abatement to be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Leah and Peter Martone, COD 172162, pertaining to the parcel of property at 18086 Clanton Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. Agenda item DD, COD 172786, Tony and Daniel Britton. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. Officer Moore.
Brunel Moore, Certified Code Enforcement Officer, Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 18579 Robinson Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Tony L. Britton and Danielle R. Britton. On September 20th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: overgrowth of grass and weeds, and an inoperable vehicle in the carport. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on September 20th, October 10th, and November 16th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those exhibits will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no communication with the owner. On November 16, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondents be found in violation of the cited code sections, request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that respondents be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, request the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance and costly abatement to be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Tony and Daniel Britton, COD 172786, pertaining to the parcel at 18579 Robinson Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Next agenda item is GG, COD 172363, Julia Hennon and Murray Wallace. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent and
Officer Wells.
We have Officer Welsh.
Hi, Wendy Welsh, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. Property in violation is located at 10411 Coral Landings Lane, Building 18, Unit 85, Placida, Florida, and is owned RSF 3.5. Currently single-family cluster home. The owner of record is Julia A. Hennon and Murray R. Wallace. That on August 7, 2017, I, Officer Wendy Welsh, conducted an inspection of the above referenced address and reviewed the Charlotte County permitting database and did observe permit 2015-0814-604 was issued for the repair of water damage to lanai decks. The above referenced permit is expired without receiving final inspections. A courtesy letter was sent outlining the violations and allowing 30 days for compliance. I did a follow-up inspection on October 13, 2017, and the permit still has an expired status. On August 7, 2017, during the investigation, I took photographs of the property. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs and permit history into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those have been marked as requested and admitted into evidence. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On December 6th, today, I conducted the final inspection, finding conditions remain the same.
Thank you. Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends response be found in violation of cited code sections. They be granted 30 days from the date of your order, renew the expired permits, and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Julia A. Hennon and Murray R. Wallace, COD 172363, pertaining to the parcel at 10411 Coral Landings Lane, Building 18, Unit 85, Placida, Florida. Find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in notice of violation, accept the county recommendation as my order.
Thank you.
Thank you. Case II, COD 172617, Penny Agent Summers. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so we have Officer Drown. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. John Drown, Certified Code Compliance Officer. The address of the violation is 15422 Orangeade Drive, Punta Gorda, Florida. The zoning is Manufactured Home Conventional, MHC. The owner of record is Penny Lee Agan Summers. On August 25th, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: junk-like conditions and a prohibited use. During the investigation, I took photos on August 25th, September 18th, November 15th, and 28th. These photos clearly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to enter these photographs into evidence as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those have been marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The notice of violation was served in accordance to Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance to refer to existing violation. I have had contact with the owners regarding this case. On December 5th, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violation still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, request that respondents be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and request permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the costly abatement to be added to fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Penny Lee Agent Summers, COD 17-2617, pertaining to the property located 15422 Orangeade Drive, Punta Gorda, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. Which takes us to what I have as the last case under new business, JJ's, COD 17-2941, Orville Wall. Note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. Please, we have Officer Drown again.
Thank you, Your Honor. John Drown, Certified Code Compliance Officer. The address of the violation is 12031 Green Gulf Boulevard, Punta Gorda, Florida. The zoning is residential 3.5, RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Orville John Wall. On October 5th, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation. Unpermitted structures, boats, trailers, metal, plastic, wood, and other debris, creating a junk-like condition and a prohibited use. During the investigation, I took photos on October 5th, 16th, November 30th. These photos clearly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to enter these photographs into evidence as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those have been marked and admitted per your request.
Thank you, Your Honor. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance with the referenced in the existing violation. I have had contact with the owner regarding this case. On December 5th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, requests the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, request the respondents be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and obtain all other necessary permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Further, the county requests the permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the costly abatement to be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Orville John Wall, COD 17-2941, pertaining to the parcel at 12031 Green Gulf Boulevard, Punta Gorda, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to agenda item 11, staff and citizen input. Everybody shaking their head no. That will lead us to the adjournment, so we stand adjourned.
County. This is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too, because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. but my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea, too, that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.